People of the Interbutts, welcome. I am your host as always, Murpho, and welcome to my first ever standing here, talking to you style vlog. You guys saw my intro video, was kind of in the lines of that, but that was more of a scripted kind of thing, because, you know, gotta get people's attention, so there was a little more wit in there. And then you saw my New York Comic Con 2016 vlog, but this is more of a just me sitting here, just shooting the you-know-what, and just talking to you guys about various different topics. And this first one that I'm doing right here is about near-death experiences. Now, I just want to be clear, a lot of these I label as near-death experiences are kind of more like near misses, to the point where I did almost kind of die, but, you know, I wasn't rushed to a hospital, and I wasn't, like, in the ER, and the doctor wasn't sitting there in the emergency room being like, we gotta close up these veins, or he's gonna die, he's bleeding out, stat! No, that never happened. I've never been that far, although, to be fair, my brother had one of those once where he split his head open on the ice of an ice rink, and he was almost bled out on a local doctor's table while he got stitches, and luckily he survived, and that might have been my fault. Yeah? But anyway, that's nothing that happened to me. But I do have a list of moments where I did almost, like, meet the Reaper. The first instance that I remember, I actually almost drowned once in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, my family was on vacation in Myrtle Beach. Saliva in the nose, I think. Is that saliva in the nose? Oh, whatever. Anyway, yeah, my family would go on vacation to Myrtle Beach all the time. And this year, it was one of the first years we ever went, and we were staying at my aunt's condo. She had a pool there, and my father used to always do this thing where he would take me or my brother, and he would bob us up and down the water and go do-do-do-do-do-do, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, stuff like that. Now, I was getting to the age where I could start to swim, and I was starting to be able to handle the deep end, and my father was doing that to my brother near the deep end, and I wanted to be a little playful, and I wanted to, like, jump up on my father and be like, haha, gotcha, now I get to play too. You know, I'm the center of attention, I'm the oldest. But basically what happened was, I didn't realize, because I'm a little kid and I'm dumb, that my father had put in a bunch of suntan lotion and tanning oil, so his back was all completely slick. So when I went to go jump up on him, I actually slipped, couldn't get a firm grip because I slid on the oil and the what's that called? Suntan lotion, and fell back into the water. My father did not feel me trying to climb onto him somehow, and he kept bobbing up and down. So I fell into the water, and every time I came up, my father was splashing water in my face. So every time I tried to breathe, I go, and just get like a mouthful of water and be swallowing water. Sure thing. Next thing you know, I'm flailing my arms like this. And my mother is videotaping this, because that's what my family does. We take a lot of family videos, even in the face of death. And she notices what's happening. She sees that I'm drowning. And you'll watch if I ever watch back the video, you'll see her watching. And then she just throws down the camera. The camera goes off. And she goes to, like, yell at my father, tell him to wake up and realize that he's drowning his own son. But luckily, a person who was next to him heard my mother start to yell and panic, saw what was happening, dove in, and pulled me out. And basically, like, I coughed up some water, but overall, I was fine. That guy basically saved my life. Thanks, Dad. Love you. So that was the first time I nearly died. The second time I nearly died was actually happened at my own house. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but I have a scar under my arm that's in the shape of a Y. I'll try to roll up my sleeve of my sweatshirt. It's cold in my apartment right now. Trying to... Nope. Oh, nope. There it is. This right here. Yeah, this right here. Yeah. So, that scar right there is from a time where me and my brother would go into our backyard, and we had a dog, Brittany Cocker Spaniel, by the name of Scruffy. We loved her to death, rest in peace, and she had a fence with a doghouse in our backyard. And me and my brother, the adventurous little tykes that we were, I say tykes, but we were like, I think 8 or 6. Is that kind of tykes? I don't know. But we would go and climb the fence, and jump over the fence, and then just explore, like climb the doghouse, look into the doghouse, sometimes crawl into the doghouse. And the problem with this is it was one of those chain link fences. Unfortunately, unlike most fences where the end of the spikes went down like this. They were up like this. Now there was a tree up against the back of the fence, and my brother, while we were trying to like impress each other with our climbing skills, my brother climbed up the tree and slid down the tree and down the fence. And I was like, oh, cool, that's so cool. I gotta do that. Let me do it. I'm gonna do it just as good as my brother. So I go and climb up the fence, and I slide down, and I feel something get caught, and I'm like, wow, that was really cool. Yeah, that was really cool. And I'm like, I feel cold. The back of my arm had a little breeze. So I'm like, I think I might have, and I looked and I'm like, I can't see I can't see, like, I was like, hey, brother, I'm gonna go in the house and help Mom. I think I might have torn my shirt or torn my jacket, so I'll be right back. And he's like, okay. So I go inside the house. My mom's on the phone. I'll never forget this. I go, hey, Mom. She goes, 1 second. I'm like, well, Mom, I just want you to see something. I take off the jacket. I'm like, is there a hole in my jacket or my sweatshirt? Because I feel a draft. And I show her, and right where that scar is, there was a big open hole all the way to the bone that the fence had torn into my arm. I don't know how, but it did not tear my jacket, it did not tear my shirt, but it tore the hell out of my flesh. Luckily, I was not bleeding. It just went straight up through the flesh, cut off the skin. I guess some of the cartilage or whatever was gone, or whatever kind of like muscle is in there, but you can see straight to the bone. My mother just goes, oh my god, I have to go. She hangs up on with whoever she's with a friend, I believe she's on the phone with a friend of hers, rushes me to the local doctor. Local doctor sees it and he's like, oh wow, that's a really nasty hole. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get it stitched up. I believe it was 7 stitches on the inside that were self-dissolving, and then I think 10 or 12 on the outside, which now has formed that little scar. However, after the fact, the doctor tells us, yeah, when you went in there, tells my mother, when you went in there, you saw those veins that were there? And my mother goes, yeah, I saw the veins in his arm. And he goes, well, those were major arteries. Count yourself lucky, because if the fence had severed either of those, your son would be dead right now. Wow. So I not literally, figuratively, but in fence form, dodged a bullet pretty much. I was this close. If I didn't have the jacket on, and if I'd done anything worse, if I had like struggled or got caught, I'd be dead. I would not be talking to you right here, right now. I would not be here. So thank God for that jacket. It was my New York Yankees jacket. I think I might still have it in my house. It might be in my house somewhere. I don't think I got rid of it because it's kind of like a good luck charm almost, even though I haven't seen it in years. So that was my closest brush to death. The third time I came really close to death was when I was a teenager. Once again, in Myrtle Beach. That place is danger to me. I don't know why I went back this year, but I guess I don't learn my lesson. Anyway, use words properly. The resort that I was at was called Ocean Creek in North Myrtle Beach, and that's where we went after we stopped using my aunt's condo. Now, quite literally, as for the phrase or the name of the resort, there is the self-titled aforementioned Ocean Creek. That's a creek that goes from South Carolina and winds its way through the front of the resort and out into the ocean. Now, my brother and one of our family friends, they had met a girl who they were hanging out with, and she had a little raft. I went to go hang out with them because I didn't want to hang out with the parents, and we got an idea. We were like, hey, the tide is really fast right now. It is taking all this water into the ocean. You know what we'll do? We'll get on this raft and we'll ride the raft into the ocean. The waves will stop our momentum. We'll get out and we'll be perfectly fine. Kid logic. She goes and gets the raft. We all go over there. We all get in the raft. We start riding in the top, in the open part of the pool. Like the creek kind of like comes in and then opens up to a little bit of a tide pool, and then like narrows out and goes out into the ocean. And it's going well, and then we get into the narrowed part and we stop dead. And so I go, okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll jump out and I'll give us a push. I thought this was a good idea because the open pool part was just plain sand. I jump out, rocks and coral and barnacles all over the place. And my feet get torn up. Like, not so much really you were seeing bone and everything, but yeah, they were cut up and scratched pretty badly, and I was bleeding. But I had to hold my ground because the tide was so strong that if I had gotten taken, I would have gotten taken under the tide, and I would have gotten my legs all scratched up, and I probably could have cut a serious artery in my leg and died or drowned in the tide. So instead of pushing them up the creek, I pushed them over to the shore immediately. Now, they started panicking. My brother takes off to go get my parents and medical help. And meanwhile, my friend Andrew, he was lucky enough to be wearing rubber water shoes, so he braved the current, jumped into the water, and walked on the rocks over to me, grabbed me, picked me up so that way my feet weren't dragging across anymore, and I helped him swim over to the shore. He basically dragged me back on shore just in time for a lifeguard to show up with my parents. The lifeguard, my legs, all the way up from my foot, all the way up here. They were all cut up. And but luckily, people had towels. There were people nearby in the resort who were just more than happy to lend their towels to help stop the bleeding and make sure I was okay. There were luckily no major cuts, no major arteries were severed. It was just a bunch of gashes. The lifeguard wrapped me up in a couple towels before they got some actual bandaging. They dried everything off. Everything was clean. They packaged me up, and luckily I survived with barely just a few scratches. But yeah, I am an idiot. We did not learn. I learned my lesson that day. Don't ever screw with a tide because it will mess you up. Nature is dangerous. But anyway, guys, those are 3 of my near-death experiences. I've had a couple more close calls, such as dodging lightning in Disney World and whatnot. And maybe if you guys want to hear a couple of my near misses, not so much almost near-death experiences like these, I'll be able to tell them later. But what about you guys? What kind of near-death experiences or near misses have you guys had in your life? Please share them in the comments below and let me know. And if you guys have any ideas for what kind of vlogs you'd like me to do, be sure to let me know. These are things where I'm just off the cuff, off script, just talking to you guys about my life so that way you guys hope to get to know me better and I can get to know you better. So please share and let me know what you'd like to know. And I will take a look and decide whether or not I want to, do the topic. But I can't, have ideas and engage you guys unless I get them with help from you guys. So please let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch at L_Murpho. Be sure to find me on Facebook at facebook.com/RealLMurpho. Don't forget about my Patreon page, most importantly, because you can get exclusive content there if you sign up and become a patron. That's at patreon.com/LMurpho, all one word. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, of course, as I said before, comment, and thank you guys for watching. Until the next video, may your nerd be true.